So I had this dream once. I remember it pretty vividly because I've had it actually. It's been like a recurring dream last couple months. And I remember most of it. It's very weird, but also very funny, oddly. So, so I had this dream. It was set in like the 16 or 1700s. I have a lot of historical dreams because I read and write a lot about history and I love history. So I'm set back in time. So my girlfriend was in this dream. And we were sitting in like this parlor with like a roaring fireplace going off. And it was like during like the summer or whatever. It was beautiful. And it was like in London because we had British accents in the dream. And I had like, my hair was like, it was like pulled in a ponytail. And like, I had like a long black trench coat on and a like tricorn hat. Whatever. Had rings on my finger. I was dazzled out. I was a handsome fellow. And my girlfriend had like a corset on with like some beautiful pearl earrings. And she was like knitting a little like sketch of like a dog or something. All of a sudden, we're just sitting there. I'm smoking a pipe. Everything's fine. Fucking the king of fucking France bursts through the chamber doors. He's like, "Good sir!" And I was like startled. I was like, "Well, what the fuck is that?" And so I stand up and I'm like, "The king." And I'm like, "King Louis, what are you doing here? It's England. You traveled from France." He's like, I took my carriage and I came upon you in such grace. And I was like, okay. I don't like, why are you talking to me basically? And so he's like, "I need to talk to you about something." And I was like, okay. And he's like, "What do you think about this?" And I was like, all right, what's up? "I have decided to create a chain of the greatest business ever conceived by man." And I was like, well, that's great. What business is this? Pray tell. And he was like, he like looked from side to side like in spiritual manner, and like the firelight was like glowing on his face. It was all dramatic and shit in the candlelight. And he was like, "We cannot speak here. We must speak in the garden." And I'm like, "But it's cold out. It's cold outside." And he's like, "It's summer, man. Get your clothes on." And so I'm like, already have my clothes on. Anyway, we go into this beautiful rose garden and by a fountain or whatever. And we're sitting on this bench together, and we have like buckled boots, and he has a pilgrim hat on. And he's just like, "I started a brothel." And I'm like, and then I'm just like, "Sir, you know there's already brothels in England." And he's like, I know there's brothels, but here, get this. It's a brothel for dogs. And I was like, my mind was, I was like, what? I was like, "Sir, you should be ashamed." And he's like, "You dare speak to the king of France in this tongue?" And I was like, I do not, sir. I swear upon it. But you know that's a puppy mill, right? You're breeding dogs just for the sake of breeding dogs. He's like, "Yeah, so all of France can have their own puppies." And I'm like, that's ridiculous. All of a sudden, the dream changes. And I'm just like in this like fucking, I'm in the middle of London town riding in the carriage. This fat man with like a little mustache like this and a goatee. He has like a little briefcase, little leather case, satchel, whatever. And he like opens it. It's just packed to the brim with snow. And then he pulls out a frozen slaughtered chicken. Blood everywhere, feathers getting all over the carriage floor. And he has like a little hat on. And I was like, "So what is that?" And he was like, "I've just invented the greatest invention known to mankind." And I was like, "What is it?" And he's just like, "Frozen meat." And I was just like, what? I was like, "I've never heard of this before. This is amazing." And he was like, "We should portray it so everyone can have frozen meat. We'll put ice in their house, throw some chicken on, chop off their head, freeze them to death. Boom, frozen chicken right there." And that was the dream. Lovely.